Hello and welcome to this YouTube video. Today I want to talk about how you can change how you think in 4 simple steps, right? If you're newly awakened, in the last few years, then chances are this is something that you're going to bump up against. You're going to start to become more aware of your thoughts. You're going to start to notice how you think and then desire to change it. Now, a lot of the mistakes that I see people make is that thinking going outside of yourself is how you're going to start creating your reality. Like you go to a new city or get a new job and you choose to recreate yourself. Now, yes, that is somewhat true in that it is possible to recreate yourself, but it's backwards, right? You don't recreate externally, you recreate internally. So learning how your mind works, learning how to master your mind, how to change your thoughts is really the quickest way to accelerate your growth and to see changes in your reality. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Amanda. I am a psychic healing practitioner. I'm trained in the modality Theta healing, and I use plenty of other tools that I picked up along the way. My journey really has been in rewiring the subconscious mind, in learning how to do this easily and effectively, and in the last 6 months or so, really simplifying my processes to be able to teach it to you. If you're involved in the personal development community in any way, shape or form online, you know that it's loud, it's cluttered, there's a lot of opinions out there. And it can be really challenging when you're looking at different perspectives and which ones to take on board. The main advice that is dominating this space is really just be positive, think positive, and it's going to start creating more positivity in your life. Slightly true, however, being positive is really just a band-aid, right? It's a slap-on effect that doesn't actually change anything. For example, if you're thinking negatively about something, you can catch yourself in that thought and you can change your thoughts. Say, for example, I'll just use the example of public speaking. That's something that I personally have struggled with and overcome, like having the confidence to speak on stage and everything like that. I used to be very afraid of how people would perceive me, how people would view me, and thinking positive wasn't going to get me out of that one. Because by the time I'm standing next to the altar about to go on stage, I am shaking, I am scared, I'm sweating, my palms are sweating, and I'm thinking about all the things that could go wrong. And I can sit there and I can implant in my brain saying, okay, this is going to be fine, you're going to do great, it's going to be good. But does that take away the fear response? No, it doesn't. So what I'm really trying to get at here is you can only think positive on top of negative thoughts for so long before it doesn't actually work. It never actually works because it feels inauthentic in your body. If you're standing on stage shaking or on the side of the stage shaking and you're thinking, I am a really good public speaker, I'm really confident in public speaking, well, that is going to feel really inauthentic in your body, right? You're going to feel a disconnect between how you're feeling and what you're thinking. And really you want to get your heart and your mind on the same page. The process of thinking positive is true, but it's actually step 4 in a process I'm going to share with you. So one of the main things that I have learned in my last 3 years doing this work is that you need to first unlearn to relearn. A lot of the work in growing and evolving spiritually, mentally, emotionally, is unlearning the conditioning that we picked up along the way. So the beliefs and the emotions that we believe to be true about the world, about ourselves, you can't learn on top of that. You need to unlearn it, right? If you think about a toaster that is full and it's got toast in each slot, then you can't just put more bread in to make more toast. You have to take it out. And the same goes with beliefs and emotions. You actually have to remove the beliefs and emotions before you put new ones in. So the 4 steps that I really wanted to share with you today, these are the 4 steps that I share in my mind medicine map. I taught it not long ago in a live group cohort, and I've really dumbed down the rewiring of the mind to 4 steps. The first is really slowing down, and it's so important. If you're new into this awakening journey, likely that you have dabbled in some meditation. Continue with this. You're able to access your fullest potential of your brain when it's in a slower state. You're not going to have control of your thoughts or be able to rewire or to even unlock neuroplastic abilities of your brain if you're in a beta state, which is stressed and going and just day to day, right? When you're typically on high alert and you're focusing outwards. You need to slow your mind so that you can focus inwards. And this is a theta brainwave state is optimal. Now, the way that you achieve this is through meditation. You can sit in meditation for hours, which some people would recommend. I don't. I prefer a guided strategic visualization or meditation to get into a theta brainwave state. Now, when you know what you're doing, it's fairly easy to do. So the first step is slowing down. And you can Google like theta meditation. You can put on theta brainwave frequencies to allow your brain to like adapt and match that certain frequency. There's definitely ways to get into a theta state, but you want to get into a theta state because ultimately your intuition is now online, and you also have direct access to your subconscious thoughts and your subconscious memory files, right? So everything that you have experienced, that you've stored in your subconscious, and oftentimes when we experience things that aren't so pleasant, including the emotional charge for things, we store them away in our body. So the energy stores energetically in our body, and we store them in our subconscious memory bank. We park them on a file, and if we're in a process of repressing, then we just ignore them. A lot of this work when you're unlearning is actually accessing those files, unpacking them, and then neutralizing them so they're not like recreating in the past. If there's a situation in the past where you had spoken up and you had been ridiculed or mocked for it, then you're not able to process that effectively, say someone's not there to help you move through those emotions, then you get that contraction of that didn't feel so good, now I feel a bit of shame or whatever that is, and then you tuck that away in your subconscious memory files. And now when you go to speak on a stage, you're now afraid that you will be ridiculed. So the process of removing the fear of being ridiculed is actually going back to that time in class where you were perhaps mocked or made fun of for speaking up. Okay? And this is the work, is removing the things from the past. You have to go back to the past. And that brings me to step 2 of the mind medicine map. Step 2 is really finding the root cause, finding where it started. Because when a pattern starts and it locks in, it's going to recreate. It's going to recreate lots and lots of little experiences for you that trigger the same emotional reaction because it's a window in for you to heal it, essentially. And it's what the subconscious knows. It's familiar, and we're just working on autopilot, on repeat, and it's just ticking over and going. So if there's a chain of events, you want to collapse the chain where it first started. Because if you say you have like a string of pearls, you can pull the pearls off individually on the end, or you could just go to the front pearl and pull the entire string off. And that is the most effective way to heal, is finding the root cause, getting back to where it first started, unpacking, neutralizing it there. What I teach is really following the thread of consciousness. So being aware of the pattern or behavior that you no longer wish. So say you're triggered a fear response when you're speaking on stage. Then you want to get rid of that fear response, right? So you follow the thread of information. And that's like strategic questioning, being in a theta state and asking strategic questions of your intuition and allowing yourself to follow that thread of consciousness to where it first started. When you get to where it first started, then you can move on, okay? There's an art to this, and a lot of people lack the confidence to change how they think and how they feel because they don't actually know what to do. And it's really hard to be confident in healing or confident in anything if you don't know what to do. So what I teach is the steps on how to do that, and then you sort of ease into that and practice and play with it, which is a lot of fun. Now, once you have these tools, of course you have them for life, and your mind is your most valuable asset, considering it's very powerful. It creates your reality. If you've heard about manifestation, you can focus on what you think of and draw that in closer. And so your mind really is the gateway to your reality, like what you choose to see, what you choose to experience. And if you're unconscious of what is creating your reality, so all the past childhood stuff, and of course there's past life stuff as well, I recommend you always just start with the childhood. You know, I've been playing a lot in past lives recently, but only because I had worked through a lot of the childhood work. Sometimes stuff still comes up from childhood, and that's okay, but really just starting there. Working with your inner child is something that I teach in the Mind Medicine Map also, because it is a really powerful and profound way to communicate with an aspect of yourself and to heal and make your inner child feel good. It brings me to the third step of the Mind Medicine Map. Once you have altered your brainwave state, once you have found the cause of an issue, once you have done that, then the goal is to let go. Let go of there's two things, the story, the thoughts, the decisions that you made at that time, the beliefs, and to let go of the emotion. If you're feeling shame in a certain situation, then you really need to let go of that shame to start to neutralize this experience so that it no longer has an impact on your now experience. So one fantastic tool I will share with you, a beautiful tool for letting go, one that I use in client sessions and teach my clients as well, is a process of visualization, visualizing a balloon. Visualizing a balloon from this point in time and visualizing, like physically removing the energy of shame from your body into the balloon, just using your breath, filling up the balloon, imagining a beautiful, nice balloon, filling up until you can no longer feel that energy in your body into the balloon, put it all in there, and you can tie it off and you can let it go. And you can witness it. Witnessing is really important. Watching it be complete. Watch the balloon actually leave your awareness until you can no longer see it. And you should, if done correctly, feel a sense of relief, of lightness, of, okay, it's all good now. So that is a really profound tool, and you can use that in any shape or form. Like if you're feeling any sort of emotions now, you can use that in the now moment. Of course, you can also use that in the initial moment. Letting go at the root cause is going to be more profound, but equally as powerful. Anything you can let go of that isn't taking you to where you want to go, then please do that. The fourth step and the final step of the mind medicine map is once you let go of a belief or an emotion, then you want to let in, right? You want to choose how you want to feel. This comes into where you're creating a reality. Instead of shame, I want to feel empowered. I want to feel secure. I want to feel confident, happy, joyful. I want to feel love, right? And choosing these emotional states to let in, choosing the beliefs to believe. When you let go of a belief, and you can use that balloon visualization for the beliefs, but then choosing how do you want to feel. Like think of it like you're removing something. You want to replace it. I don't have a good analogy for that at this point in time. But you want to always fill the gap where you're pulling something out of. Choose how you want to think, how you want to feel, make a choice, and affirm that to yourself. Like, I am confident, I am able to speak up. People want to hear what I have to say. What I have to say is important, right? All of these belief systems and feeling that confidence and feeling that like trust in your message and trust in your voice are all things that are going to help on the public speaking example, right? You're going to get on stage and you're going to feel a lot more empowered to share. Right? Whereas if you're acting from a place of the past where you're in shame, you're probably going to get on stage and you're going to mumble and you're not going to make eye contact. Whereas if you feel embodied in your confidence and trust that your message is important and that it deserves to be heard, then you're going to get up there and you're going to speak a lot more eloquently. Of course, with all of this, I do value a holistic approach in that there's always the energetic side of things, which I love playing in the energetics, that's my realm, but there's also the physical of learning and practicing how to communicate, how to speak up, how to deliver a message in a way that is impactful, right? So there's both. You have to balance both, because if energetically you're really competent and feel really good about doing something, but on a physical level you don't have any awareness of how to do the thing, it's going to be really hard to create a desired result. So you need to have both on the same page, like work on both at the same time, essentially. And so that is really the method. They're the 4 steps to rewire your mind, to change how you think in a way that is going to be permanent and a way that is going to be sustainable, right? Because it's not sustainable to think positively on top of the stuff in your subconscious that you don't want to keep. You're just pushing it down further, and it's sort of like a form of bypassing, right? You don't want to be spiritually bypassing. You want to just be taking accountability of how you're feeling, how you're thinking. Be okay with that, like sit in it, acknowledge it, and then choose what to do with it, right? Like let it go and take in the new thing. So I hope that helps you in changing your thoughts, rewiring your mind. Just an overview of the process, right? because I really want you to be able to heal. I want you to be confident in doing the inner work, because when you can change how you think and feel, you feel more empowered, you feel more confident. You're essentially taking back your power. If you're able to change a story or a program from the past, then that is powerful, because you can choose what to keep and what to let go of. And that is what creates your reality. It's giving you your power back as the divine individual that creates your reality, rather than living victim to this is just how it is and this is just how it's always been and how it's always going to be. That is a disempowered state. Notice the difference. So learning how to connect to the divine mind, right, which is in that theta state, how to navigate to the past, how to neutralize, rewire, and then choose. Then you can bring all those learnings back with you till now. And then that becomes your new reality. Now it's not so scary to speak on stage. So I hope that helps. If you want to learn more about all of this, it is available on my website in the Mind Medicine map. I do sell this without the live aspect. So all the teachings and trainings, there's these 4 steps. And within those 4 steps are 25 different tools that you can use, excuse me, including the balloon, visualization and inner child healing, and some guided meditations and a process to go back to follow all of this. So all of this is included. If you want to learn more about it, there's a link below. And I hope this has helped you. If you found this helpful, then leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.